bienvenido, and wahi. I hope each and every one of you feels welcome. So, hello, hey, 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 it is Destiny back in the house tonight. So, if some of the regular subscribers know this already, again, I'm not propped up in front of the little usual Shein giveaway prop behind me, right? So, it's okay. I'm in a different part of the home today, and I don't know why on camera it's looking like, how you like you got a black eye. Why it's looking like I got a black lip? Why it's looking like the little gloss I put on my lip looking real like somebody just. Anywho, we ain't gonna talk about it. I don't know. We're gonna go ahead and do this little topic tonight, family. So I popped on to do a little bit of content to have a little conversation with you. And there's no smooch tonight. It's just Destiny back in the house by myself. Okay, listen. Tonight's topic is going to be about one that I've sort of kind of covered. I'll probably cover this one many multiple times, right? But I will cover it in different aspects because it's such a broad topic. It is OCD, but it's OCD on the lines of triggers and respecting boundaries and people's personal space. But I could just go on because it's just always a new element. It's always a new topic, probably a new story. Like if I was to leave the house and have an encounter with someone related to my OCD. So it's always something I can talk about. However, this one is going to be a little bit different. But before I hop all the way in, do me a solid. If you've not subscribed to the channel, hi, welcome to Cooking Up Conversations. Please hop over. Like, yeah, right now, stop what you're doing and subscribe to the channel. If you are a regular subscriber, thank you for supporting and watching the channel. If I could get you to share the link, invite some other people over here and watch the channel. We need to continue to grow the family and the Cooking Up Conversations community. So I appreciate it if you share the link, tell somebody about it, especially if you know somebody sit around the house all day and they're always looking for something to do. They can hop on and cover some of these topics with us. So let's hop in. I want to talk about this because Smooch was having a conversation with me the other day. And let's just be clear. I have OCD. When I met her, she did not. Our dynamic is I have a cleanliness issue. She has a neatness issue. So let me not say, when I met Smooch, she had her own set of things totally separate from mine. Hers is neatness, and I'm not a neat person at all. Mine is cleanliness, and I won't say she's not clean, but my level of OCD clean, she was not that. So obviously being around each other, we've known each other for 13 years this year. Being around each other, some things kind of, rub off on you, if you will. And so she's become very much so more aware and more conscious of people in her space and touching her and dirt and germs just because of I am extreme OCD. So it's rubbed off on her. And so she was just sharing a conversation with me about being at work and how she's told some of the guys she worked with several times to, hey, my space, back up, don't touch me. And they seem to accidentally keep doing it. And they're like, oh, don't forget she doesn't like to be touched. And I know that may sound odd to people. What do you mean you don't like to be touched? Like you don't hug family members, you don't hug children, grandchildren, you don't hug sister, brother, mother. I know it sounds weird to people, but the reason I'm going to touch on this again, not so much about my personal journey. I don't feel like talking about me today as much, right? It's about just personal boundaries and space. And I guess I have to change that. I will tell a short story about me. Smooch talked about these people on her job and how, like, we both joke about how we are always doing matrix with people. Like, if someone just you start a conversation with someone that's not a regular person in your circle and they're already starting out extremely close, we both know that it's inevitable. They are bound to touch us at some point, whether it's the girl, you know what I'm talking about, pat on your back, pat on your shoulder, reach out. At some point they're going to touch. We know the signals and the signs. So I personally am just always yeah. And it's so weird that people will continue to step forward as you back up. First of all, let's do this. How often, how common is it that you're talking to someone and they're backing up? That's got to be a sign. That has got to tell you something. It's not common. It's not normal for people to back away from you while you're talking. Now you could even think your breath stink. That's still a sign for you to stay over there where I'm backing away from. I don't know what it is, but I'll quickly insert. I went to get my feet done this weekend at a new spot, never been there before, which is very challenging for me with my OCD issues. I really do not like going to new spots because it's a matter of a language barrier for one. Two, they're not familiar with me, so they don't know my boundaries with don't pick this up, don't lay that down, don't touch this. I got my shoes at the end. I don't need you to put my shoes on my feet. I got it. They don't know that about me. So I'm gonna cut to it. The lady had asked me. I did ask. Well, she asked me about what pedicure that I want. You want basic? You want basic? I said, what's the step up from basic? What's the next one up from basic? And she seemed to have, yeah, yeah, okay. She said something. I'm maybe premium, maybe next level basic. I don't know what she said, but it seemed like we had an agreement. Not basic, one up. I want you to do a little scrubby dub dub on them heels a little bit, a little extra. Now whether you do a little extra with the regular little stone you use or that cheese grater, honey baby, I don't care how you do it, just do a little extra. So which one is that? I thought it was understood. She went on back and forth doing things through the shop, went and sat down, did somebody's nails. I got into a conversation with the lady beside me. We were talking about my YouTube channel, her surgery, some of my health issues. We were just jabbing like old girlfriends. And then the lady came out of nowhere. And the lady was also telling me about her husband who also has anxiety and suffer with some things, right? So she tells me that while we're engaged in this deep topic conversation about just life, her things, my things, her husband's things, the woman came and just stood in front of me, and I kind of looked up like, oh, yes, ma'am, well, how can I help you? Now, they had just started her pedicure. They had not started mine. So she came back and she had the book in front of her. And I'm sitting there kind of like, church lady, I read it with my arms folded already. That's my guard off. That's my guard is off. Like, don't touch. This is my thing. That's my thing. Don't touch me. And she just came and stood in front of me with the book. And she said, you want to choose? You want to choose? You want to pick? And I was getting ready to say whatever I was ready to say. And she just laid the book. And I just thrust. I said, no, I don't want to touch the book. I was like, I don't want to touch the book. I'm like, and she looking like, why not? Tell me what pedicure you want. And I'm thinking, we've already discussed this. And you didn't even say then, I go get book for you. You didn't say anything. I thought we were clear. So my anxiety went through the roof. I don't know where this book is being, who's touched it, how many people you've put in their lap, their hands. And I'm just like disgusted at this point. And I'm like, no. And she's still looking confused like, and I said, ma'am, I don't like touching things. Like, please, I don't need to touch it to tell you what pedicure I want. I don't want to touch the book. She's still standing there looking just dumbfounded, bewildered, lost. I don't know what. And I said, ma'am, I have extreme OCD. And that's the thing I hate. I hate to have to go in that place with strangers. If I say I don't want to touch it, if I say back off, if I say don't touch me, respect that and go away. Now you've triggered. Now I have an onset. Now I'm dealing with anxiety. I walked in here and I was cool. I was calm. I was collected today. Talking to a nice lady sitting beside me. And look at where you have me now. And it's so funny because by this time we'd already talked about her husband and his anxiety and how he doesn't like to leave the home, and different things. So she looks like, stay here, stay with me. I see what just happened. Stay with me. That was that. We got past the moment. The lady was completely discombobulated in her brain, like, what the hell just happened? What's wrong with her? So then into the pedicure, the guy dropped. I took in my 2 nail polishes that I wanted. He dropped my nail bottle on the floor. And I just looked at her and I said, Lord, I really want to tell him to just wash his hands and the bottle. But that's going to be such a challenge. And then she said something to calm me. I don't remember what it was in this moment. She said, oh, but something. She said, at least it's in the bottle, or at least the brush. Something she said. I said, no, but the fact that he had to pick something off of the floor, now he's touching my foot. And in that moment, it's like she must have went to a place that she has to go so often with her husband. She said, listen, stay here with me. She said, let me finish telling you about my torn rotator cuff and my surgery. And I thought it was the most precious thing, because what she was saying was, oh, you really want him to go watch that. You really about to have a moment. And I don't know what your freak outs are, but whatever she's familiar with her husband, she's like, yeah, stay with me. Stay with me. Don't go nowhere. Just let's talk. Let's finish talking. And I told her, I said, you are just awesome. I said, you got to be somebody's best friend, because she just went into problem solve mode, and that's my thing. Let's go in. Let's resolve it. Let's not have a moment, you know. And I loved how she did that. We talked. I was okay. I just knew when I get home, honey, bleach your foot off. Don't bleach it. Bleach it off. Anywho, um, that's my quick take. There was something prior to that. When I got there, the guy turned cold water on my feet. I pulled my feet, and he kept tapping my foot. No, no, put your foot. I said, the water is cold. I don't want to put my foot in. Yeah, yeah. And he kept tapping my foot. What his, like I triggered him. He needed me to get my foot off of the side of the basin. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe in you all's mind, you don't want someone to stand in it and break it. But I'm like, baby, I'm not standing in it. I have very light, I'm sitting, so there's no weight with my feet just propped on the sides of it. And he kept tapping my foot and tapping my foot in the water, in the water. And I was like, my feet are fine where they are. She thinks I don't understand him, so she comes over. No, and then she grabbed my foot. I said, can you both stop tapping and grabbing on my feet? It is a bit aggressive, and I didn't come in here to get beat up. I came for a pedicure. Now, for any of my subscribers, my family members that are watching, and you don't understand OCD and what those triggers and anxiety is, then you may be sitting here in judgment, saying, well, honey, what was the problem? Why didn't you just sit there and do what people said and get your feet done? That's why I like to have these videos and do them, because it's a learning lesson, hopefully for somebody. It's a learning curve. When you have anxiety, OCD, people, you have triggers. Things that are common to you will trigger us and make our brains just go spiraling. To make it simple, it makes us extremely uncomfortable. It's a very uncomfortable setting. And when people don't understand that, it's worse. Because I could say to someone, hey, that's a trigger. If you know what that means, you're going to back off. Hey, that's upsetting. Hey, I don't want to do that. I don't want to touch that. You get it. So with that being said, the lady that was sitting beside me when she walked in, she when she came back there before we even got to talking, she said, son, I don't know how the conversation started. And I said, yeah. I said, I just wish people understood. And she said, yeah, you have to respect those boundaries in that space. I said, you get it. I said, and it's so weird when it's a language barrier and people don't get it. It just goes on and on. I said, I really don't like to leave my home because of this reason. But I'm fine. I can leave my home. She said, I get it, but you're just comfortable. And when you get other people who don't understand it, I said, that's where the problem lies. So we just went on, and she instantly started. And I'm looking like, how does she know so much about me? How does she, everything I said, she's like, yeah. And then she piggybacked a sentence that made sense, that said she could relate to it. Further into the conversation, it was clear when she said her husband suffers with anxiety. He's finally chosen to do dinner with her once a week just to get out of the house and stuff. And it will literally make you become a hermit. And like I tell her, I can navigate and manage outside my home anytime I choose to leave it. It's having to explain to other people, and sometimes those become yelling and screaming matches. They're thinking you're being rude or nasty or mean. And I'm explaining that on camera to say, if someone's like, oh my gosh, why were you just showing out in there? I know it comes across as that. But when you don't understand my trigger and how it affects my anxiety, I may yell at you and it may come off as, well, Dad, you didn't have to yell, or you're being mean. That's like if somebody was to punch you, or you stab your finger or stump your toe. That, it's the same thing. That reaction that's not meant to be anger, but it's a quick, thrustful type of, I need to express something quickly, and it comes off as a yell or a scream. Um, the other thing I want to say about personal space and triggers, because I'm always explaining my OCD, which is weird because it could just sound like OCD, right? But it's really a mental health issue. It really is. It's a mental health condition. And I don't mind saying that. I don't mind talking about it. I don't mind owning it. What bothers me about it is it really shouldn't be. It shouldn't be labeled a mental health anything. It shouldn't be labeled, oh, let me tell you what I have an issue with. Let me tell you about my triggers and what I don't like. I think it should be common. Y'all know my channel is about my opinion. It should just be common that we respect each other's space. Why do you get up in a store, a grocery store, and ask somebody a question, and you're so close y'all could kiss? And please don't be so close you'll spit hit me, because then, anyway, we're going to skip over that. You know, it's just, I think it should be common that we respect each other's personal space, especially after COVID. It's like it didn't teach us anything. Smooch deals with it now, you know, just constantly asking people to stop touching her at work. And I'm going to add a mean twist to this, and I say that because it's going to sound mean. Let's say, because I've had it happen several times, which is why I do the matrix now. If I can read people's energies really well, so if I'm talking to someone and I can tell you're so friendly in your tone that you're going to reach out and touch me. And so I've had it where when I meet those people, I'm always, you know, and I just have this cute little backup, and I'm starting to make it more and more obvious. I used to be very subtle. I don't care about being subtle. I want you to know I'm backing up. I don't care nothing about you knowing the reason. I want you to know I'm backing up from you for a reason. Now my take is this. If I'm talking to you and maybe I'm having an off day where I didn't read the energy of the person well, or some people are like kids. You know how you get a baby and they will come and snatch some food out your hand so quick? Like, it's weird how they do that, right? But you have things happen so sudden you don't see something or a person coming. I've had those taps on the shoulders or, honey, can I get in front of you? Sweetheart, do you mind reaching me that? Oh, I've had all of those where people just touch you and you don't even see them or realize it's coming. Or they're talking to you quickly and they're about to walk away and they, thank you, baby. Let me tell you something. Smooch and I were, and I'm not telling you anything either one of us ever done, but we were laughing about it after we were talking about our both anxiety-ridden moments about her job, me getting my pedicure. We talked about it. I said, but you know what would be real funky? It's like we always have to accept people where they are. Oh, you're touchy-feely, and I should just go with the flow and be nice and just smile and laugh. No, I don't have to do that. I have mental health issues. I don't have to do that. So my thing is this, so we would be so wrong if someone tapped me on the shoulder and I tapped them back. Let's sit in that for a minute. Because my tap is going to be clearly received as aggression. But it was never okay for you to touch and or tap me. So if I tap you back and say I don't like to be touched, then it's like, then I hit you. I hit you, right? So again, if people were just mindful, we wouldn't have to go through all this. Um, I don't like to be touched. I don't know where your hands have been. And in most cases, people's hands are extremely filthy because germs are everywhere and people don't take precaution to wash their hands on a regular basis. I wash my hands on a regular basis. I walk around with a Clorox wipe in my hand almost probably 100% of the time when I'm out of the home. Um, I'm always wiping my cell phone down. My things get cleaned regularly. I'm not stupid nor am I dumb. I know I'm not removing all dirt and germs from my items. I do what I can to sanitize them so that I'm comfortable in my OCD and with my anxiety. So if you go about your day opening up every store door, every restaurant, bathrooms, not washing your hands, your car, your keys, everything, your bottom of your shoes, the ground, and you touch me. Let me repeat that because see, you probably don't. Well, how dirty could somebody's hands be? Touch the street, your shoes, your keys, 50 stores, restaurants, bathroom, didn't wash your hands, which means you could have fecal matter and urine on your fingers. Those are the reasons I don't want people touching me. Does that sound a little bit better than I don't like to be touched? That doesn't sound normal. Everybody is touched at some point, right? But when I don't know you or your habits, your day-to-day habits, I don't know what's on your hands. I don't want you touching me. I do not want your germs. There's something else quick I'm going to say as I wrap this video up. The way I should wash and dry my clothes, we won't even talk about it in another video. But if I'm out with this particular shirt on, and this is just a house shirt around the house, I didn't get anything fancy on today. But if I had this shirt on and I went outside, I was outside 30 minutes outside at a store, whatever, and let's say my chin was itching, if my hands are dirty because I'm picking things up off of a shelf, I'm not going to put my finger and scratch my chin. I'm going to do this. Because these clothes are clean. Like, I can't tell you how clean they are for me, washing and drying my clothes in the manner in which I wash and dry my clothes. So my shirt, of course, it's got some outside air element on it. I've stepped out the house, you know. But it's, in my head, clean enough for me to do this quickly. The problem I have with people touching me, I'm in the store talking to somebody and they touch me on my shoulder, which happens all of the time. Guess what? I can't do this now because someone else's germs from their hands is on my. So those are my little quirks. You know, if people are going, well, why this? Why that? That's why. That is the why. I was in Publix a couple of weeks ago, and I was actually getting a couple of YouTube subscribers. And I was talking to a lady about my YouTube channel, and we were just talking, and she was telling me this fabulous story about her and another buddy that always blogging, and they think they never really thought to do anything with it, but then someone said they should, and I was like, girl, yeah, get build up the confidence, girl, get it. And we're just talking. And what did she do? Thank you so much for a great conversation, and hit me on the shoulder. I just said, I went in the store, I bought a canister of wipes, and I literally stood in the store. That's how bad it is. I didn't need, nor did I want her germs on my shoulder. So I'm in there just wiping my shoulder, getting her germs off. Those are the things I go through. I share those things to say it might help someone. One of my family members that have subscribed to the channel watching, and anybody new, hello, hello, welcome. It may give you some insight the next time you're out in public talking to somebody. And it may help you know maybe I should keep my hands to myself because I don't know what triggers people with mental health concerns, issues, and things. I don't know. Everybody doesn't want to be touched for whatever their reasons are. It's their reason, and we don't have to explain it to a soul. But then if we snap on you, that's going to be an explanation you need. Why you hit me, why you scream beyond an anxiety scream. You scream because you're angry and you want to punch my lights out. You trigger me to that point. And anxiety, if you know anything about it, then I'm not talking to you all because you know. But for those who don't know, anxiety has different levels. I can wake up someday, my anxiety is already through the roof, so nothing can go wrong that day because I'm going to yell at somebody to like punch their lights out with my voice. You know how you've seen in movies or commercials somebody scream and glass breaks? Yeah, I can scream and just punch you with my voice, right? That's how I feel. Other days, I'm at zero. I'm waking up. My energy is great. I feel great. A lot can happen. I have building blocks to what could happen. Like, oh yeah, the first thing that happens in that day, not a big deal. The next thing that happens, but my anxiety is rising. So if you catch me walking outside of my house on a day that my anxiety is already through the roof, if you touch me that day, it's not going to be pretty. And we're going to leave it at that. It's not going to be pretty. And I've had those moments. At another Publix, about a year ago, a lady touched me. It wasn't pretty for her. I thought she was going to pass out in the floor. And I didn't touch her. But the elevation of my voice, the anger, the tone, the energy, and the words I gave her, baby, I don't think a woman will ever touch anybody else in her life again that she doesn't know. And it wasn't about being angry. She shocked me, startled me, threw me off my game. Then she hit a trigger. Anxiety went through the roof. It wasn't nothing else she was going to get but what she got. She got what she got, gave her what she, yeah, there was nothing else going to happen. You never know what people are going through. We've said those types of things in the past, whether somebody's having a good or a bad day. Today, the more we tap into triggers and mental health and knowing those things, it's far worse than anything some of us can imagine. There's a lot of us that already know. But the ones of us that don't have a clue what anxiety is, triggers, and what do you mean if I touch somebody on their shoulder in the attempt to get their attention in a store and say, hey, how are you? Or, oh, I thought you were somebody else. Why would that blow them to pieces in their brain? You got to do some studies on that. My videos are always about my opinions, my life, my takes, some suggestions, but I can't tell you nothing medical. I can't tell you nothing psychology, psychiatrist. I've studied it. I have a degree, but study it for yourself and get more understanding as to why. If you have any questions, drop some questions down in the comments. I can answer for me, but I can't answer you the overall mindset of each of us because everybody with anxiety is different triggers, different things. It bothers us though. Be mindful. Takeaway for this video is to be a little bit careful and selective of how we approach people in public outside of the norm. You shouldn't do too much with strangers. You don't know what could trigger somebody. People do have social anxiety. people have so many different reasons they don't even like to be outside. Hence, the woman that I was speaking to getting our pedicures done. Her husband has just now finally decided to go out the house once a week. This man doesn't normally go out of the house. Please understand, a person like that has decided, I'm now going to start going out of my house once a week. It don't mean it's a good day for him because they've decided every Friday they're going to go somewhere to dinner, is what she shared with me. That man is taking a leap of faith, trust, comfort. He's trying. And for somebody to do something that makes him uncomfortable, it's going to trigger him. So you don't know if someone's suffering with social anxiety, but they're coming out of their house anyway. You don't know that someone's not out of their house doing a social experiment. Let me get out of my comfort zone of home and try being around people today. There's a lot of people stuck in their homes that can't even come out. Now, I'm not blaming viewers. I'm not blaming people for that. But it sometimes could be like drugs. You get drug treatment, then you relapse. So somebody could be trying to build that trust and that comfort to get outside of the house. You touch them, they reel back in. They ain't going out the house for years now. So just be mindful. That's always a takeaway. Be careful. Read people's energies, and if you're not good at that naturally, if you don't have that innate ability to do it, which means a natural ability, then just kind of, as they say, read the room. If you're talking to somebody and you see some odd behavior of them stepping back, and you know your breath don't stink, baby, it's something else. They don't want you touching them at the end of or in the midst of that conversation. I'm going to hop off here, y'all, because I'm going to do a couple of topics today. Just to cover more content, and I don't want my camera card to get full where I can't do anything at all. So pay attention to people. Be respectful of what you get when you're talking to people. Before anything, these are just suggestions. Y'all know I don't tell you what to do. Think about these things. That sounds better for me to you. I like that better. Think about these things when you're out communicating, conversing with people, whether they are giving a warm and inviting. And if they touch you on the shoulder, then you know it's okay. But if a person is doing this and showing you signs of, don't get too close, can you back up? I don't want to be touched. I'm saying I suggest paying attention to those things. I'm going to hop off of here, y'all, because I'm going to do another topic. I appreciate you all. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned. Keep watching. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Hop over and subscribe. Share the links so some others can subscribe. And I will see you all next time.